Showtime, a-holes. We'll be here any minute.
Okay, been having some issues with the 09 Mazdaspeed 3, and it's basically the coil packs, and I keep having problems with it, and I'm tired of the problems with it, so I'm trying to adjust that problem. And today, what we're going to do is I'm going to install some MSD ignition coil packs on the Mazdaspeed 3, and these are Ford EcoBoost coils, and I'll show you how to do that. But I think it was the best way to go. I'm an old school street rider and fixing up old cars. I've always gone with MSD as far as my ignition. I don't see why it would change working on modernized cars. So we'll have to do some wiring, we'll have to do some upgrades, but we'll get it done. All right, first things first, right off the bat, got in touch with Summit, and I picked up these MSD coils, and these are for these fit the EcoBoost Mustangs, they fit the ST Focus and the RS Focuses. And I've done a lot of research, talked to a lot of people online, and they say, oh, well, the stock ones are from the factory are rated up to 500 horsepower as far as the STs. I don't know about the 09 Speed 3, they're probably about the same. But I wanted to go with something that I know is reliable. I don't want to go factory, and the factory would, to be honest, the shit was more expensive. So I just bought these. This is junk coils. Don't ever buy these, but I bought these for the Mazdaspeed 3. And as you can see, there is a big difference between the plug-ins on these, because this is the plug-in for the ST and the RS and the EcoBoost Mustang, and that fits, but as you can see, there's a problem, so we got to do some wiring on this to get that straightened out. Instead of buying just plugs, I picked up an extra set of coils from I guess this is an ST, and it came with the clips with pigtail on it. So picked those up relatively cheap, about 55 bucks, and they said they were tested good. I'll test them again to make sure, but I've got to wire these clips into the Speed 3 so that I have the right wiring set up. But yeah, well, let's go out and get on the car. Kind of slow today. It's been one of those days. I'll give you a shot at why. Picked up some good shine, and as you can see, the clear has been kind of tapped into, and that's some serious stuff. But so that was last night, might be again tonight, but let's get started on this. The tools for today's little excursion is pretty simple. I mean, quarter drive ratchet, 10 and 12 millimeter sockets, an extension, and screwdriver, and a couple of little things. Because the only thing you got to do is you got to remove all this to get to the actual place where you need to work, which is on the coils. And from there, you'll need a good wiring tool setup. Strippers, crimpers. I got some heat shrink tubing right there, which I'm going to use. Suggest that, electrical, you know, everything. And I'll show you this back here. Pick this up at Lowe's. This is always good to have in your arsenal if you work on vehicles. This is a Wagner that I picked up at Lowe's, and it's a heat gun, and it works phenomenally well. You do not want to get your hand in front of that. And like I pulled the stripping off the side of the car here. I need to clean it up a little bit, but I heated it up and it pulled right off. So that's always good, and a plus to have in your garage. Alright, let's get to it. First thing is always you want to start by disconnecting the battery. As always, you pull this clip off and you loosen this, so this should be good. That one's good. This one's good. I I loosened those up a little earlier. Okay, that one's out. This one's out, and then you pull this piece off. Now that we've gotten the intercooler out of the way, pull this clip off here, and we'll go ahead and get the razor and split this one. I'm going to do one at a time slowly. I'm not in any hurry to do this today. I'll leave just enough lead on both ends to work with. Notice that the color coordination is a little different from what I'll be working with, but it's still the same pattern. It's a three-way connection plug, so they all work the same. And considering this is a 2.3 where the RS focus is the 2.3, it's the same pattern. So right, that's good. I would normally solder these, but this is basically a study in progress, so I just want to do something simple for right now until I figure out exactly if this is the right setup. Kind of a shot in the dark here. Coil out. Let's see. We gotta have need an 8mm to pull the coil. Start out with one of the focus coils to make sure the pattern is right. Okay, now what we do is we put it all back, we fire it up and see how it's acting with this coil. And then if everything's working the way it should, we move on to the next view and put them all in. Because we're just starting this up to make sure that coil's got the right setting. Let's see what we got. Alright, before we start it up, we hook up a battery. Gotta have battery to hook it up, get it started. Didn't think about it until after I sat down in the car. I noticed the air conditioner's running. She's out in the air. Now, as you can see, the wiring process is not difficult. You just follow the wires across in a 3-pattern system like is on the other car. So the 3 wires that are coming out of the clip on the 03 Speed is the same wires that you will splice in from the clip on the ST. It's the same pattern across, those three in sync. So I'll try to get a little more in depth for you on the next part here. Okay, when I talk about wiring the clips up exactly the same, this is the clip from the Speed 3. As you can see how big it is. I mean, a lot of people are barking about, oh, you know, the stock coils are rated to 500 horsepower. I've already been through that. They were more expensive. I didn't want to buy them. And I like the windings in the MSD coils. This is the clip from the Focus, which you have to wire in. The only thing you have to do is wire them exact. This one goes to this one, the middle one goes to the middle one, and the one on the far right goes to the one on the far right. It's all the same. Just wire them in exact. Even though the color coding is different, it doesn't make a difference. It's wired, and it's a three-way clip. Nevertheless, all set up the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish wiring up all these and put the MSDs in, and then I'll come back to the video and I'll fire it up and show you the difference in the run. It wouldn't even start this morning. I mean, the coils were so bad. So we'll get these in, and hopefully, you know, everything will be great. It's already running better, but hopefully you can see this process. I mean, I'm clipping them and putting the heat shrink over it and just kind of winding them and putting the heat shrink down, because I may be changing these out from time to time. I may go back to the Mazda clips and the Mazda coils eventually, but right now I'm going to run these MSDs. So I'll get back with you in a minute after I've installed all that. Okay, I've tested them out with the Focus coils. Everything's smooth. It's the way it's supposed to be. Wired in exact. What I'm doing now is where I split the heat shield from off of the original wire, and I'm actually going back with some electrical tape after I've done the heat shrink on the wires to connect them together. Then I put the electrical tape back on the heat shield, the factory heat shield that goes on it. And wrap that in electrical tape. Give it some extra protection. Now they're all in. Now all I need to do is switch out these coils for the MSDs. Which is a simple process. There's nothing to it. Take the 8mm, loosen them up. Do them one at a time. Bring the box over, make it a little easier. Oh yeah, nice tight fit. And I'm running the Denso AVT 22s in this car. So I'm running a cold plug, and I think I got the gap set at 26 or either 28. I can't remember. Either way, it was a pretty decent gap. The main reason for this swap out is because the coils, like I said, they were going out, and they were holding okay, pretty steady. I mean, the island was a little rough at times, but I got into a little battle on the highway with a I think it was either an 18 or 19 Camaro. He had done some exhaust work. He was pretty proud of his car, and he kept slowing down and speeding up, slowing down, speeding up. He seen me behind him, and he wanted to play. Well, long story short, he never really gave me a good start out. He just kind of nailed it and tried to run away. Probably from like a 60, 65 mile an hour roll. And so I gave chase. I put foot in it, and I was reeling him in. But I felt something let loose. One of the coils finally just decided to fade on out right in the middle of a run, and he just basically drove away. So that really pissed me off. Not that I mind losing. I mean, you're not going to win every race, but still the fact of I had the car that would beat him, and it decided just not to run very well that day because of the coils, I decided to do some upgrades. And so now you see. Here are the upgrades. And I think these MSDs will do very well. I ran Escort GTs, 91 to 96 models, mostly 93s for years, which you'll see some of that in the show, but I always ran a 6AL and big wires, blaster coils, things like that. Make sure I put these in this box to save. Okay, the only thing left to do now is to put it all back together and crank it up. Alright, it's idling smooth. It's exactly what I wanted. It's exactly what I needed. The next step is we're going to take it up the road. We'll go for a little ride and we'll see how she's pulling. How about that? Let's see what we got. Well, I hope you found this informative. If you've got any questions or any comments, leave them below. You know the deal. This is basically the video that shows how to put Ford EcoBoost MSD ignition coils in the 07 to 09 Mazdaspeed 3, and I'm pretty sure you can do it to the other models up to 13, whatever. I've got an 09. It worked out fine. It's smoother idling, more aggressive on the pull, and the top end is great. It's raining outside now, so I can't do any more to the car. I put some Lucas fuel injection cleaner in there as well, kind of help out the injectors until I can get some new ones. But as I said, it's raining. I'm gonna call it a day, and got me some cherry apple shine here. So you know what the rest of these days gonna be about. I'm gonna get into this moonshine, and I got quite a few flavors I'm gonna try out. Probably not all tonight, but I will get to them. If you have any questions about that, leave them in the comments below. Have a good day.